Assalamu alaikum children. Welcome to the science class for the grade 3. In the last session of videos, we have completed lesson number 7, housing and clothing. And after that, we have lesson number 8, safety and first aid, which we are going to delete from our portion. To reduce the portion, we are going to delete this lesson, safety and first aid. Okay. So in today's video, we are going to start a new lesson, lesson number 9, light. So children, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the sources of light. You will be able to explain the features of light. You can identify the transparent and opaque objects, and you will describe what is shadow. Okay. So here some sources of lights are given. What do the sun, a candle, a torch or a lantern have in common? What is common in all this picture? The common thing is these all things gives us light. Okay. So let's start our lesson. Look at the pictures given below and identify in which picture can you see things clearly. Here are two pictures given, picture 1 and picture 2. So which picture you can see clearly? Yes, of course, picture 1, because it shows daytime. Picture 2 shows night time, so you cannot see things clearly. So dark means there is no light. Okay, dark means there is no light, and here where you can see clearly, here is this picture, light is there. So light helps us to see things. Light helps us to see things. Without light, the things are not clearly visible to us. So now we will see sources of light. What are the sources? Anything that gives out light and helps us see is a source of light. The things which gives us light, those things are called sources of light. So in this picture you can see these all are sources of light. This torch, this lantern, candle and sun. Okay. So in this, the sun is a source of light during the day. Sun is the source of light during the day. It is a natural source of light. Sun is a natural source of light for whole earth, on the earth. Okay. What else can be natural source of light other than sun? What can be the source of light? Yes, moon is the source of light in night time, but moon also gets light from the sun. How do we see in the dark? In the darkness where light is not present, or in the night where the light is low, we need a human-made source of light to see in the dark. Here are some human-made sources of light. They help us see in the dark. So other than the day, in daytime, obviously sun will be there. In the sunlight, everything will be clearly visible. But in the night or in the dark, at the dark place, we need some human-made sources of light to see it. So what are the human-made sources of light? Torch. Yes, torch is human-made. Bulb. Okay, bulb. Then compact fluorescent light, CFL bulb, kerosene lamp, table lamp. These are some sources of light which are human made. So in the darkness or in the night time, we use these things to see the objects clearly. So in the human made objects which are sources of light, the objects that give light are called luminous objects. The objects that give light are called luminous objects. This is new term for you, LUMINOUS, luminous objects. And objects that do not give light are called non-luminous objects. So what are the examples of luminous objects? Candle, okay, and the lamp, the things which gives light. Which are non-luminous? The things which do not give light are called non-luminous. Like this pen is non-luminous. Okay. Now we will see features of light. When you turn on a light or bulb, when you turn on a light bulb, you see it light up at once. Actually, the light takes a little time to reach up to your eyes, but this time is so less that you cannot measure it. It is even less than 100 millionth of a second. So what does it mean? When we switch on a bulb, it gives light immediately. So in the seconds, it is the 100 millionth part of a second in which we get the light. So immediately we get the light when we switch on our switches. Okay. So we cannot measure this time. It is even less than 100 millionth of a second. So let us see how light travels. So here you can see sunlight rays traveling and reaching to the earth. Light travels in a straight line. See, this is the feature of light. Light always travels in a straight line. Light travels in a straight line as thin beams of light called rays. Here in this picture you can see the beam of light. The beam of light which is coming from the places where it find the way. So light always travels in the straight path, and when it comes in the form of beam, that is called ray. R-A-Y-S, rays. Let us do an activity that proves this feature of light. So to understand this beam of light, these rays, we need to perform an activity. So to prove that light travels in a straight line, we need a torch light, newspaper. Okay. So make your room dark by drawing the curtains. Switch off the lights also. You make one room as completely dark and take the help of your friend. Stand opposite to your friend at a distance. Shine the torch on your friend. What do you observe? When you are standing opposite to your friend at a distance, then you are lighting up the torch on your friend, what do you observe? So what do you observe? You can see that light directly falls on your friend and you can see him clearly. Now switch on the light and roll a newspaper into a cylinder. So in this way you have to roll the newspaper. Okay. Use a rubber band to hold the newspaper roll in its place. Then what do you observe? You can see your friend clearly. So from the straight cylindrical pipe of this newspaper, you can see your friend clearly by lighting up the torch. Okay. Now bend the newspaper roll a little. Then what happens? When you make the cylinder of newspaper straight, you can see your friend clearly by using the torch light. But when you bend the newspaper, can you see that boy clearly? No. Can you see your friend? No, you cannot see your friend. So what does it prove, this activity? When we see from the straight roll of newspaper by using the torch light, so we can see that object very clearly, but when we roll it, when we bend it, we cannot see that object. Why? Conclusion: a light beam, a ray of light, travels only in straight line. Light travels only in straight line. Okay, children. So that's it for today's video. In the next session, we will study about transparent and opaque objects. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.